Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We're glad that you're here. 741 subscribers. We are so grateful that you've shot us to the top.
We are grateful. Yep. Definitely.
I'm Steve.
Thank you for listening. And I'm Scott.
And together we're Backyard Musings, the Science and Technology channel.
Yeah. And we are talking about our favorite space agency, NASA, today. And here we go.
NASA's DART, that's the Double Asteroid Redirection Test mission, proved that a spacecraft can nudge an asteroid system in space, offering a real test of planetary defense. I love that. Planetary defense. NASA's DART spacecraft changed the motion of an asteroid system in space, demonstrating that a kinetic impactor could be a viable way to deflect a near-Earth object if one ever threatened Earth. Would you like to know more? I'm thinking you would.
That's fascinating.
It is. It's
New findings
from the sci-fi show.
Yeah. New findings show that when the spacecraft deliberately crashed into the asteroid Moonlit Dimorphos in September of 2022, the impact did more than alter the small body's motion around its larger companion, Didymos.
Didymos.
Sounds like the name of a rapper or something.
Well, that's the name of one of the apostles. Didymus means twin.
Oh, okay. The collision also slightly changed the path that both asteroids follow around the sun. Didymos and Dimorphos are gravitationally bound and circle a shared center of mass, forming what astronomers call a binary asteroid system.
Are you making this up?
I am not. Yeah, and I'm not one who uses the word binary, although that word has been used to me a few times. But because the two bodies are linked in this way, changing one affects the other. Okay.
Binary, don't you mean, what's that? You mean bipolar has been used for you to describe you, right?
No, I had some, I think I told you that. I was driving a school bus. And it was the late bus. I was picking up some kids late. Their bus got in some kind of trouble, so I had to show up late. And when I loaded them, they were like a pack of wild animals, which they were anyway. And I said, okay, girls in the front, boys in the back. And a couple of the girls said, what if we're non-binary?
Oh.
I said, I have no idea what that means, so sit wherever the heck you want to sit.
Oh.
So. But anyway,
Scott caved.
I did.
Popular culture.
I did, yeah. I guess. I mean, I didn't even know what that meant. So I still don't. But anyway, we've just used it again in an asteroid system. So
according to a study published in the journal Science Advances, scientists carefully tracked the motion of the asteroid pair after the collision. They discovered that the system's 770-day orbit around the sun shifted by a fraction of a second following the DART impact. This is farcical, man. That's like Biden saying, we saved you 2 cents on your Thanksgiving dinner and calling it a success.
Yeah.
This marks the first time that a spacecraft built by humans has measurably, by 1 second, changed the solar orbit of a natural object.
When DART struck Dimorphos, the impact blasted a massive cloud of rock and dust, which probably did not freeze, into space and altered the shape of the asteroid, which is about 560 feet wide, 170 meters for you meter folks. The material that was thrown off the surface carried momentum away from the asteroid, producing an extra push. Scientists describe this effect as the momentum enhancement factor.
The more debris that escapes the asteroid, the stronger the push created by the collision. Research determined that the momentum enhancement factor for the DART event was about 2. This means the debris roughly doubled the force delivered by the spacecraft itself.
Previous studies, which again, we didn't realize that they had previous studies, I guess, had already shown that the smaller asteroids orbit around Didymos. Am I pronouncing that right? Didymos?
Didymos, yeah.
Didymos, which is nearly half a mile wide, 805 meters for you meter folks, became shorter after the collision. Dimorphos originally took about 12 hours to circle Didymus, but the impact shortened that period by 33 minutes.
Now we're talking.
That's quite a bit, yeah.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. The new analysis reveals that the event also expelled enough material from the binary system to slightly change its orbit around the sun by about 0.15 seconds.
Ooh.
That's a game changer.
Didymus itself was never on a collision path with Earth, and the DART mission could not have placed it on one. However, the small shift in orbital speed illustrates how spacecraft impacts might one day be used to protect Earth if a dangerous asteroid is discovered heading our way. The key requirement will be spotting the object early enough to send a kinetic impactor mission.
So, okay. NASA's preparing for that challenge by developing the Near Earth Object, or NEO, surveyor mission. We used to have a surveyor mission years ago, back in the 60s. So, managed by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, in Southern California, Pasadena to be exact. This new space telescope will be the first observatory designed specifically for planetary defense. Wow. This is like Star Wars, right?
I'm telling you.
This is cool. The telescope will search for the difficult to detect near-Earth objects, including dark asteroids and comets that reflect very little visible light.
I'm telling you, too, that we need to not only focus on asteroids and those kind of objects, but invasion forces from aliens. We need to be able to defend against them.
Well, do you think that if we're blasting asteroids and comets up there, that maybe the aliens would take notice?
If they're studying us, and I've heard that they probe and study us regularly.
Okay.
You've heard it from Steve.
You did hear.
To confirm that the DART collision affected the entire asteroid system, not just Dimorphos, researchers needed extremely precise measurements of Didymus's motion around the sun. In addition to radar and other ground-based observations, they monitored stellar occultations. Wow. Occultations.
Okay, word of the day. A stellar occultation occurs when an asteroid passes directly in front of a star from our perspective, briefly blocking the star's light. The momentary disappearance of the star allows scientists to calculate the asteroid's position, speed, and shape with remarkable precision.
Capturing these events is difficult. Observers must be located in exactly the right places along the predicted path of the asteroid's shadow as it crosses Earth. Multiple observing stations, sometimes miles apart, are required to gather enough data. The research team relied on volunteer astronomers, including Sasquatch, worldwide, who recorded 22 stellar occultations between October 2022 and March 2025.
Tracking the changes in Didymos' motion also allowed researchers to estimate the densities of both asteroids. Their calculations suggest that Dimorphos is slightly less dense than earlier estimates indicated. This supports the idea that Dimorphos formed from debris shed by a rapidly spinning Didymos. Over time, the loose material gathered together under gravity, forming what scientists describe as a rubble pile asteroid.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
NASA spacecraft, the DART spacecraft, was designed, built, and operated by the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory in Laurel, Maryland. Whoever thought anything good could come from Maryland? I don't know. For NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office. This office leads NASA's ongoing efforts to protect Earth from potential asteroid hazards.
The mission marked the first time humans intentionally changed the motion of a natural object in space, demonstrating a practical strategy that could one day help defend our planet from dangerous asteroids and aliens.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Boom.
This is a good one.
They should make a movie about this.
This is something that your son will probably he'll probably be part of this.
Yep.
Yeah, this will be cool.
Well, he's going to become president first, and then maybe afterwards.
Well, I'm thinking that he's going to blast some of these asteroids and comets and aliens, and that will shoot him to the top to be president.
The asteroid killer, Cameron, the asteroid killer.
Yeah, he'll make a name for himself. Kind of like Dwight D. Eisenhower. Invasion of Normandy.
Norman Schwarzkopf.
Well, I think he died before he became president. So, right?
Right.
Norman Norman passed away. He's a good guy, though. I would have voted him for president. He went in and kicked butt in Iraq. Within minutes, right? Hours.
The 96-hour war, yeah. All right, folks, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you tomorrow morning.
We could go on forever. Take care. See you on the next one.